Hi, Fairy Confessions. I'm Bridget Wolfe from Fairy Woodland, and people usually ask me, are fairies real and what are fairies? And in my experience and all the time that I've played with them and worked with them, fairies are the essence of nature. Fairies are in everything. They are in trees, they're in stones, they're in flowers and deep in the earth. And they are the spirit that makes a tree dance and be alive. And they're the spirit that makes a stream sing. They are what gives the voice and the life to nature. So whenever you talk to a tree and you're listening to it, and you can kind of feel an energy there, the energy that you feel in it, the spirit of it, is what we call a fairy. And sometimes the fairies take form for us. Sometimes they let us see them. So, like if you're looking at a tree and there's a knothole, and all of a sudden there's a kind of a little eye in the knothole, and that's the fairy trying to let you see it. Because it's really hard for them, since they live in a dimension that's just slightly different from ours, just over from ours. It's hard for them to manifest, to let us see them in the way that we can see each other. But they do it by letting us see them through the natural things that they inhabit, like a tree or a stone, or singing through a stream. Oh, it's so important for kids to know about fairies and to allow themselves to believe in them. I mean, when we're kids, we all know there's magic in everything. And we live in a culture that doesn't really honor that magic, and that says, oh, that's just kid stuff. And so kids, as they grow older, tend not to take it so seriously. But it's so important for us as adults to let them know that we take it seriously too, that we remember the myths and the stories, that we know that there is a truth in the myths and in the stories, a truth that helps us understand how to relate to nature, how to relate to each other, how to honor each other. And there's so many tales with the fairies about how they react when we don't honor nature, and how they reward us when we do. And it's so important to let those tales be alive and to help kids grow, because they learn through stories in ways. It's, I can go up to somebody and say, oh, it's really important that you honor that tree, and they'll go, yeah, right. But if there's a story about the sprite who lives in that tree, and how when you walk up to the tree and knock on it, it's like knocking on a door, and the sprite hears you, and the sprite peeks out from the tree and sees whether or not you're a safe human, and rewards you if you honor it. There's so many, that story comes home in a way that nothing else will. So that's what stories are so important.